Let's wait for some people to join us. We are definitely early, but Eva's in season and I'm protecting her here from Nemo's humping. So I thought I'd come on early while he stopped whinging. My intention was to have John here and for him to have the dogs. But sadly, John isn't back yet because he's stuck in traffic on the M5. So I've got to have all the dogs in here. So when he gets home, it's going to be very noisy. So I apologise in advance if you've got dogs that react to barking because it's going to get noisy in here. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to join. I'm just going to catch up with you guys today on some stuff that's been going on with us and then take any questions that you have. So please do pop on and say hello if you are here. I'm going to be, if you've just joined, I'm going to be wrestling Nemo this whole time because he's trying to get to Eva, who is in season. Yes, she's at the end of her season, so he's just irritating because he's a baby. But yeah, please do say hello if you are here. I can't stay on for ages tonight, so if you've got questions, quickly pop them in. Anything Dachshund behaviour related, anything about my dogs, anything about me, pop them there. And I'm also going to do a little catch up with you and let you know what's been going on for us. So I can see 2 people have liked this video already. Please do say hello so that I know you are here and you can hear me. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for joining. So I'm guessing that you can hear me then. That's great. So I've got 7 of you here with me now. So maybe I'll just start chatting. So I've got a couple of things to talk about today before I take your questions. One of them is something that I basically just wanted to talk about in a live because I'm going to be shooting some more YouTube videos soon. You might have noticed I should have done one last week. And thank you for the questions that are coming in. I will answer them very, very shortly. So yeah, I should have posted a video last week and I absolutely didn't. That's because we had some pretty terrible news. And I wanted to talk about it in a live because I just don't really want to intro my videos as I usually would intro them because it doesn't really make sense anymore. So if you have seen my YouTube videos before, then you know that I intro all of them with welcome back to my channel. If you've not been here before, I'm Lenny and I have 6 Dachshunds, 5 long hair and 1 smooth. I did warn you that this might get upsetting. So on, I think it was Wednesday now. Where are we now? Tuesday. So on Wednesday, our eldest Dachshund, Dee Dee, passed away. She was probably about 15, 16. It's taken me nearly a week to be able to even talk about it. And as you can see, I'm already struggling. So we are no longer Lenny and 6 Dachshunds. I've now got 5 Dachshunds. And hopefully it will stay that way unless I get asked by a rescue to take in a foster, and then it'll probably stay here like usual. So yeah, so Dee Dee passed away and now my intro to my videos is going to be a different intro. I'm hopefully going to keep this live on the channel so that people can go back to it to find out why my intro changed, because I really don't want to describe it in another video. But yeah, so I'll go into a little bit of detail if that's okay with you guys. Basically, Dee Dee, we were on holiday with some friends and we went on the beach and did what we usually do. And Dee Dee came back and she was breathing really heavily. So I waited for about an hour thinking that she was just exhausted, and it didn't stop. So I rushed her to the emergency vets where we were, and they did an X-ray, bloods, an ultrasound to try and work out what it was. So the X-ray came back that she did have an enlarged heart and also that her lungs were abnormal. They couldn't quite tell why they were abnormal, just that they didn't look quite right. So they put her on medication to get rid of the fluid that was around that area. And that should have helped us get through to do further investigation into what was wrong. But sadly, on the medication, even 24 hours later, she still couldn't breathe. So we brought her home for one evening. We did try my local vets first and they investigated and basically said the exact same as what the night vets had said. And we brought her home for one night and then we took her back to the vets and they said her oxygen over that night had dropped so low that they recommended that we basically put her to sleep. So we did that and it was horrible, absolutely horrible. So yeah, so we put her to sleep and sorry. Woo! But it's been a week now. I am doing better, I promise. If you've seen one of my previous videos before about Nemo, I'm very sensitive about the dogs. But yeah, but we tried everything and she was older, so they think that she probably had mast cell cancer in the lungs, which you wouldn't be able to see unless you did a CT scan. And we'd already spent £2,000 investigating over those 2 days, and a CT scan would probably been another 2,000. And because she was 15, they said if it comes back not cancer, then we don't know what to do. And if it comes back it is cancer, then we wouldn't recommend doing any treatment anyway. So we left it at that. So moving on. Dee Dee's gone. That's okay. She's resting much more peacefully. She literally couldn't breathe. So there's nothing worse in this world than suffocating, I imagine, and passing away. So yeah, she's gone. Moving on. We then had a bit of a conundrum because with Nemo's medical fees being really high, I came up with this cool idea to start my own clothing line. Because I do draw and I do marketing and I do graphic design and stuff, so it sort of made sense. So I thought, well, I'll start my own clothing line, and I bought loads of products and got it all ready to launch. And then obviously that happened with Dee Dee, and I didn't know whether to launch or not. But I decided that financially, after spending £2,000 on Dee Dee and also Nemo's ongoing fees, that I would just buck it up, get on with it, and launch the company. So I want to tell you just really briefly about it. I don't want to turn my channel into an advertising channel at all, and I want to answer all your questions. So I'm just going to tell you the company is called Nemo and Crew. I will post a link on Instagram and maybe in the chat in a minute too there if you want to go and purchase anything. There's a couple of, there's a range that's called the Autumn Dachshund, which is Nemo. It's Nemo with a little thing on. I haven't got any samples of that with me because the sample that I have of that is currently being worn by John, who is not here. But we also have these jumpers that have the hot dog on. So this is the hot dog collection. And then you've probably seen it next to me. There's this pink jumper. And this is the My Best Friend is a Dachshund collection. So if you want to go and check that out, if you've bought something already, amazing. Thank you so much for supporting us. And if you haven't yet, then please go and check it out. We've got 15% off till Sunday. And even if you just want to share it, if you don't have the money right now or you don't like anything in it, that's absolutely fine, honestly. But yeah, if you want to go and share the link, it's nemoandcrew.com. Super simple. Now, Sarah, I've just seen someone asking about the giveaway. We did announce the winners to the giveaway. I posted them on Instagram, and also I think I put them in a video, my last video. I think, but maybe I just posted them on Instagram. So sorry about that. I also posted them in the comments of that video. So yeah, the giveaway was announced, but we are creeping closer to 2,000. So I will do a giveaway when we hit 2,000 subscribers as well. So if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. I can see so much in the chat and so many supportive comments, and I really want to read them, but I know I'm going to get upset again. So excuse me while I try and dodge those comments and read the actual questions. But thank you so much for all your lovely, lovely, lovely comments. So let's read the first question. So we've got a question, please can you talk about Dachshunds with kids, especially toddlers? We don't have any kids in the family to introduce, but I do go, okay, cool. So my dogs in specific are not around children often. And actually they find children super duper scary because they move fast, they smell different, and various other reasons. So I always safeguard when I have my dogs or my Dachshunds around children, and I always keep them on a lead, even if we're visiting family or friends. And I always make sure I've got loads and loads of reward to distract away from them. So I never recommend giving treats to children to give to your dog because you don't know how that's going to go. So it's always best that you're the one giving the treats to your dog and just distracting them and making it a really positive moment, but keep your distance. So it's always about safeguarding when it comes to children. So I usually find that once I've been around them for sort of 5-10 minutes and I've been distracting loads with really yummy treats, the dogs choose to then give them a sniff, and I feel it's in a really safe way. So that's my experience of it. As I say, I don't actually have children myself. I just have loads of dogs. So I can't answer in terms of introducing them if you were to adopt or obviously have a child. But in terms of out and about, going to friends' house, etc., always have them on a lead, try and keep your distance, reward to distract, and then introduce when they seem ready. So when the dog starts to seem intrigued and be leaning forward to sniff. I hope that helps with that. So sorry if I'm speaking really fast. I haven't got long for this live, but I want to make sure I read all your questions and chat to you all. So I might be going brrr. Um, Miniature Dachshund breeders in the UK, I actually don't know the best Dachshund breeders. That sounds really silly, but there's quite a lot of Dachshund breeders that are highly promoted. The reason that they're highly promoted is because they have a lot of puppies. So in my opinion, I'm thinking if they're having that many puppies, are they actually able to care for all the individual dogs? I don't know. And without actually going to their houses, I would not know. So there's only one Dachshund breeder that I really recommend purely because I've been to her house loads of times. So I know that her dogs are there and that they're safe, happy, healthy, etc. And the breeder is called Jackson Dax. So that's Jacks, oh my God, Ondax. But she's in Devon, but she might be able to recommend then other breeders. But I'm not great with breeders, sorry. Just reading some more questions. Oh my gosh, guys, you're putting so many questions. I love it. Thank you so much for chatting to me today because I really needed to have people chatting to me so that I didn't cry throughout this whole entire live. Thank you. I can't even say thank you to you all individually because I literally am going to cry. So, but thank you for all your lovely, lovely, lovely comments. Can you list some recommended coats or fleeces for Dachshunds? Yeah, so 2 fleeces. Equa fleece is sort of the fleece that's recommended by everyone. So that's EQUAFLEECE. I cannot spell. They're recommended, but if you've got a puppy or your Dachshund, you don't mind measuring your Dachshund, then there's actually a company called Dry Hound, and it's spelt the way it sounds, Dry Hound. And they make the fleeces made to measure and they're cheaper than Equa fleece. So they're both great companies, but I've always swayed towards Dry Hound just because a lot of my Dachshunds are a little bit too slim for the Equa fleece because my Dachshunds don't seem to have as big a chest. So I do sway towards Dry Hound, and I think Dry Hounds are like 15 to 18 pounds, whereas Equa fleece is 24 to 25 pounds. So I hope that helps. They're also both companies really quick turnaround. So if you're looking for one ASAP, then definitely look into them. So Sarah says, how would you recommend transitioning a Dachshund from pee pads to outside peeing? Oh no, take the pee pads away. Don't even transition, take them away. And then start doing your training. I've got a video on toilet training. Take the pee pads away and go back to basics. There are people who say about dragging the pee pad to the back door and then outside the door. Doesn't make a difference. You're still teaching your puppy to go on a fabricy surface. So it doesn't teach them to go outside. You really do have to go back to basics, take away the pee pad, keep your puppy in an enclosed area or in one room while you're teaching them so that you're basically limiting their chances of walking away from you and having an accident. But I won't go into full detail on that because I have got a whole video on it of me yammering on. So go and watch my video toilet training. You should be able to find it on my channel. But I would just get rid of the pee pads completely and start from the beginning again. Because, yeah, just to make sure it's really perfect toilet training. Rebecca, what would be your best tip you wished you would have known before getting a Dachshund? Okay, cool, yeah, brilliant. So best tip before getting a Dachshund, I think the basics, like knowing that they're very stubborn at toilet training. I wish I'd known that because I think I'd already had 2 dogs that weren't that difficult to toilet train. And so I had to really find a knack for it. And by the time I was on my sort of second Dachshund, I really found what works. So if I'd known it from day one, though, it would have saved a whole carpet replacement. So that's probably actually, thinking about it, the top tip that I wish I'd known. So if you're watching this and you've not watched my toilet training video and you've got a new puppy or a dog that is still not toilet trained, please go and watch it because honestly, it works. I've house trained a 3-year-old doing it. I've house trained a 12-year-old doing it. House trained puppies doing it that way. It works, promise. Thank you to everyone saying about the business and everything. I'm really, really grateful for you all supporting it because I don't really want to make this channel about advertising stuff. So, but it's really lovely that you're supporting us. Yeah, because money's hard for everyone. So even if you're just sharing the link or saying well done, I really appreciate it. Okay, so there is 2 weeks my puppy can go out for a first walk. I'm really anxious about it. Okay, so I definitely would recommend if you're going out on your first walk with your puppy, you've got 2 choices. I wouldn't go running out the door with them on the lead, going everywhere. What I tend to do is on the first day is I literally just take the puppy to the end of my road, stand at the end of the road, give them loads of little treats just so that they can watch things like buses, cyclists, people, and then just go home again. And then on the second day, you might want to go and find somewhere that's quite quiet to walk. So like a field, a beach, or forests where you can keep quite a big distance. And basically just go for a little walk around on the lead. Hopefully you've already got them used to the lead and the harness in the house or the garden. If you haven't, then start doing that now. But yeah, so start quiet and build it up. Don't go rushing into walking them places. And one thing I will say is I start my puppies off lead from day one. So I always make sure that they're nearby. I've always got a lead on hand, but I always start them off lead day one, because when they are tiny puppies, they honestly don't want to stray from you. They are terrified of straying. So you can really reinforce that recall when they're a tiny puppy. And then when they turn 6 months, they've been off lead their whole time. So it's not like you've just suddenly let them off and now they're free in the world. Because what happens is people don't let them off lead, let them off when they're 6 months old, and then they run the other side of the field because they've never been allowed off before. Whereas if they've been off their whole lives, then they tend to not stray, and they tend to, you can reinforce that staying by your foot or staying to heel. So I hope that gets rid of any of your anxieties. And the tips there: always have treats on you with anything to do with dogs, and try and make the treats something really high reward, something that you don't use in the house. So something that's like top notch, they'll come back for that. But I do start with all my puppies off lead from the get-go. So don't be scared, because I've done it with all of mine. Nothing's ever happened, promise. Okay. Would I consider being a breeder? No, absolutely not. So I have had an accidental litter, and that was how Nemo was born. So if you don't know the story, Nemo's dad, Fenton, had the chemical castration, which is an implant, and it didn't work. So he got Elsa pregnant. Elsa was still within a healthy age to have puppies, and Fenton again was in a healthy age. So we decided, once we found out, I think she was like 5 weeks by that point, that we would go ahead. And we had the puppies, and it was the most stressful time of my entire life, and I would never ever choose to do it. And I don't know why people do. I don't know why they do. The stress level is coming from me. Oh, I've got too bad anxiety for that in my life. If I got another Dachshund, what would I call it, boy or girl? So I'm never going to get a boy again, because boys are a pain in the bottom. I much prefer girls. And I have no idea. I've never even thought about what I would call my next girl. But I think well, we've got a lot of dogs to live with at the moment. You know, I don't think we need any more. So you said I felt like I had mine potty trained and then he regressed. They absolutely do. So they go through hormonal stages. So you'll tend to find that they take a step back between 5 and 7 months. And then you'll tend to find that they then do it again between 11 and 13 months. And then they might even do it again between 18 and 20 months. So you will have to go back to the beginning every time they do that. Some of them don't regress as much as the others, but a lot of them do. And it's when they go through these hormonal changes that you tend to see that happen. So I hope that clarifies that you are not alone, and that does happen. Gosh, I've got all the dogs getting bouncy again now. So sorry, I will try and nip this in the bud. Right. When did you get your dogs fixed? So not all of mine are spayed. Some of them are not spayed and some of them are spayed. I recommend waiting till they're 18 months to 2 years old, just purely to reduce the risks of IVDD. So if you haven't seen my IVDD video, go and watch it, and it will give you that little tip. So 18 months to 2 years is when I recommend to do it. What do I do for toilet training in bad weather? Well, because mine are toilet trained, they go out in bad weather. I go out with them and I stand with them until they go, and then I bring them back in. So yeah, across the board. Sometimes Eva, who is here currently wagging her tail being naughty, going to say hello. Because Eva is smooth coated, they tend to be a little bit more cheeky when it comes to the weather, and she will pretend she's been for a wee. So she'll come out with us because I make her go out, and then she'll pretend, but I keep a close eye on her. I'll go out with a torch if it's dark. I keep a close eye on her, and then I literally stand over her, and because they know what the command is, so mine is go wee wee or hurry up. They know both of them. Because they know that, then they look at me as if to say, you're not expecting me to go out in this, are you? And they will go, because they know that if they pretend or they run back in, I'm just going to carry them back out again. Hi, can you leave your mum alone, please? Darling. Thank you. So mine in the rain, fine. They don't, it's no different. Go over there. Thanks. Oh gosh, it's all kicking off now. So I hope that helps with bad weather. Pick them up, take them out, or nudge them out with your toe. But they have to go. Mine will go, and I will stand out there in the rain with a coat on. Oh, you saw our TikTok videos with Nemo. So yeah, so I didn't actively breed him. He was from an accidental litter between two of my dogs, one of them being chemically castrated. What do you do if your puppy literally goes into depression when you put a collar on him? Oh, bless. Yeah, so I do have one of those. So Fenton hates having a collar on, but once we're out doing something active, he tends to forget. So initially he goes really close to he runs up the stairs, goes on the stair, holds his head down and goes, woo! And he's 2, so he should be over it by now, but he just hates having a collar on. But once we are out and about and active about it, he tends to then be absolutely fine. So I'm not sure if you are out walking. Yeah, so the same, just lay there and not move. Yeah, Fenton's honestly the exact same. So I'm not sure if you're going out walking yet. If you're not, then when you start going out walking, you might find it a little bit easier because they'll be a bit more excited. And if you are going out walking and he seems, I'm not sure if it's he. Oh yeah, it's he. And he seems hesitant. Can you stop, please? Thank you. And he seems hesitant to go out for walks once you're out as well, then I would consider that maybe he's a little bit anxious about going on walks. So you might want to take it a little bit slower. So just put the collar on, get some treats out, take him to the back door, take the collar off. So remove that association with the collar being going out into the scary big world, if that's what that association is. So yeah, let me know, RJ, if you're out walking yet and if your dog enjoys it once they're out walking or not. Let me know a bit more about that. My Dachshund humps his pillow. Should I let him carry on or take the pillow off him? That is so sweet. It's completely up to you. It's not harming him. I promise you, it's not harming him. I'm not sure how old he is, but they tend to get over it. I wouldn't take the pillow away. Hi, Prada, getting annoyed, aren't you, with all this ruckus? I wouldn't take the pillow away when he's on it. If you're going to take it away, just take it away when he's not in the room without him noticing. And then don't give it back to him. Don't take it away while he's on it or anything, because he might be quite guarding of it, and you don't want you and your hands to become something that he associates with taking stuff he enjoys to be around. So if you're going to do it, wait until he's out of the room or going out to the toilet or something, and just pick it up and put it away. But if you're not going to get rid of it, it's not harming him, so don't panic about it. Just let him do it. He might just be bored, so you could try distracting him with a toy or do some training or something, or he might just be doing it for the sake of it. But I probably wouldn't. Well, Nemo, when he was younger, humped his bed and I just left him to it, whatever he enjoys. Lucy, you've answered helpless before in the comment, but Chip is still demand barking, and I feel like I'm trying to give him everything he wants and needs ahead of barking. Others have recommended just ignoring it, but is that cruel? It depends what he's barking about. To be honest, it's a really difficult one. Really, really difficult, because mine, I think I said this to you last time, Lucy, mine don't really demand bark. They've never really done that. So that's quite a difficult one. It really depends what he's barking about. Because if he's barking about something like a toy that you've put up on the side, for example, maybe take that toy and go and hide it in a better place. If he's barking because you've not paid him attention for 3 hours, then maybe you need to give him some attention, but maybe just wait for a break in that bark. So bark, 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 look around. Oh, she's not doing anything. Or get up and walk into another room so he follows you into the other room and stops barking. Or try and get it so that when you actually do the activity or the thing that he's asking for, you've waited for a break in the barking, and maybe it'll break that habit. I'm not a huge fan of ignoring barking if I feel in my heart it's for a reason. But if it's literally just that you've put a cup of tea on the side and he's barking to have some of that tea, then ignore it. Because he's not doing it because he's anxious or worried or stressed or bored. He's not doing it for anything other than to just be a hassle. So I hope that helps. As I say, sometimes if a dog is doing a behavior that you don't like, sometimes if you just walk into the other room, they follow you, because that's what Dachshunds are like. They're a bit clingy, and that tends to lock them out of whatever it is that they're doing that you don't like. So then you can just actually do something with them, and you're not rewarding the behavior that you didn't like, if that makes sense. So pulling them into another room or saying, oh, come on, let's go out, or whatever, rather than actually physically giving a command of any type. Is it normal for my Dachshund puppy to have hiccups? Yeah, quite a lot of them have hiccups. Might be worth looking at their diet if it's really often. Guys, can you stop play fighting while I'm trying to do this live, please? Crikey. Sorry about all getting seasick with all this rubbling around. Yeah, so hiccups are pretty normal in puppies, especially. They drink fast, they eat fast, they're doing a lot of activity, so it does create that. But definitely have a look at their diet, or have a look if they're drinking really fast, you might need to, or eating really fast, you might need to get a slow feeder, which is a bowl that's got loads of little things in to stop the food from going through so quickly. But yeah, worth having a look into, but it's not unnormal for puppies to hiccup, no. Mine do it. Nemo still hiccups, he was hiccuping yesterday. Would you prefer a boy or a girl, and why? So yeah, I prefer girls. I just think they're easier to keep in multiples, and I will always want multiple dogs. That's just me. I'm not a huge fan of keeping boys together. My boys, when they fall out, it's like tit for tat. It's really irritating. It's like a little growl here, a little thing there, and then they fall out. Whereas the girls will only in their lifetime have one fallout, and then someone backs down and they're over it. I'm making that sound like a really big fallout, but it's not. They just get over it. They find their place in the pack, or I hate pack theory stuff, but pack or crew or family, and they get over it. And I don't have issues with my girls at all falling out, whereas the boys do have little grumbles at each other now and then. So I'm all for the girls. And that's not just because I'm a girl. I actually do just prefer them. Mine barks while in the process of pulling dog food bag, getting dish, filling dish, no patience. Oh, mine are the same. Oh, for sure. When it comes to the dog food, mine are absolutely the same. They are absolutely buzzing. If you go to my Instagram now, you'll see on my story, I literally put up a story today on my Instagram, which is, what's my Instagram name? What's my Instagram? Nemo Tripod Sausage Dog. And it's spelt tripod like paw, pawed, and dog like dog. So it rhymes. If you go and check that out, actually, I'm just going to type it in here. Sausage dog. Yeah. If you go and check out Nemo's Instagram, I've put a story on there with their dog food, and you will see the dogs go nuts. Like, they know it's food time. They're spinning, barking, wagging their tail. So I wouldn't worry about barking in regards to that. If you've got one dog, I guess you could wait for them to be patient and ask them to sit and wait. But it depends if you care enough that they're getting excited about their food, which is a great thing if they're getting excited about their food, because Dachshunds in general are very fussy. Lucy, so I don't like ignoring him usually. He wants attention, but worried about rewarding barking, so moving to a different room sounds good. Yeah, give it a go. Do you know what? There's no one size fits all when it comes to dogs. I've learned the hard way through them all having very different naughty habits or stubborn issues. And sometimes something is promoted on the internet as being the way to do it, and it don't work for your dog, so try the other way. What's our dog's sleeping pattern? So I don't know if you're in the UK, but actually, this is going to sound really stupid. Does every country, oh God, does every country have their clocks move on the same day? Someone answer that for me, because I sound like a right idiot. But our clocks moved. And so now they think it's 7 a.m., which is the usual time they would get up, 7 a.m. And it's actually 6 a.m. So they sleep 10 till 6. But it would usually be 10 till 7. But now we're having to get up at 6, which is fine, because we just get up, take them out for a wee, and then put them back in bed, and they go straight back to sleep. When they're puppies, a lot of mine will wake up at about 2. So, when they're still getting bladder control, so like 10 till 2, 2 till 6, 7. Rebecca again. Let's read this one. Is it okay to get a Dachshund when I already have a dog but a different breed, but it's friendly? Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you've seen, but 2 of mine are not Dachshunds. I've got loads and loads of friends that have got bigger breeds with Dachshunds. Dachshunds are a pack dog. They're a hound, so they love being with other dogs. So yeah, fantastic. If you've already got a dog, go for it. Matthew says, how do you discipline your pup after they go to the bathroom indoors? I don't discipline them if they go to the bathroom indoors because it's totally my fault. If they're going indoors, it's because they don't know that they shouldn't go indoors. They don't do it out of spite. They don't do it out of anything like that. They are literally just doing it because they don't know any different. So I don't discipline them. I completely ignore it. I clean it up and I take them outside. And then I realise that they've just been to the toilet. So I count, depending on their age. I'll set an alarm for an hour later to take them out again. All this noise you're hearing, by the way, is just full-on play fighting. So I apologise if you can just hear everywhere. And if you're getting seasick, if you've just joined from all this rubbling around, because we are on the bed. Yeah, so yeah, do not discipline going to the bathroom indoors. It does nothing. Do you know what it actually does? Is it teaches them that when they go to the bathroom and you spot it, you discipline them. So instead, what they start doing is hiding it. So they start going under tables, under sofas, behind sofas. So you're far better just to ignore it. I hope that makes sense. I have got a video on toilet training, by the way. So I said this earlier, but please go and watch it because it is really useful. But you have to do the whole thing. So don't just take tips from it. Do the whole structure. Excuse me. Thank you. Lucy said Europe and North America changed. Yeah, I don't know. If that's true, then it's the same in North America. I can't believe I didn't know. They don't change all over the world. Okay, so I'm not that stupid. Because I was saying it and I was thinking, is this a really stupid question? So would you recommend a certain type of toy or thing that helped while training? Yes, so I don't know if you saw my puppy teething video, but I always recommend when, especially if they're a puppy, so during training, to make sure that the toys are really long because they tend to be really mouthy, so they will get you. They don't intend to do that, they don't want to, but they do. So I always buy toys that are really long, and I try to not encourage toys that have a squeaker in from the get-go because they just kill the squeaker and unstuff the toy. So you can get toys that are like rustly rather than squeakery or filled with fluff, and get the long ones. So rustly long ones, they tend to be the best for me anyway. And rope toys are really good because they're good for their teeth, and it's good for when they're teething to get out those teeth. So I hope that helps on there. If you, Rebecca, I think you're on our Instagram, so if you want any links when you do get a puppy or whatever, then please do let me know and I'll send you a link to what we bought. Should I take my puppy out in the night? He will sleep 10 till 6 without waking up. Absolutely not. No. If he's not going to the toilet in the middle of the night, then perfect. So yeah, don't take him out. I only say take them out if they fuss at a certain time, or if you're noticing when you get up in the morning that they've been to the toilet in their crate or in your bedroom or wherever it is that they sleep. Guys. But if they're not getting up in the night, then they've got a good bladder. Genetically got a good bladder, so leave them to it. And if they start going in the night, don't panic about it. It might just be that as they're getting older, they're eating a bit more, they're drinking a bit more because they're doing a bit more activity during the day. So just keep that toilet training up, take them out, go to the toilet, put them back. Don't give them too much attention. Do you have a dog carrier bag that you can recommend? I do. Have I got you on Instagram? Because I will link you. But I don't have the link right now. But we bought 2 bags, and I must say the second bag is a lot better and was cheaper. So I'm not sure. I don't know what the company was called. Let me try and check my emails now. I'm going to have to jump off in a minute, guys, but thank you so much so far for all your questions. Chuck them in now quick because I am going to have to go shortly. I'm just going to, while I'm just checking my emails to try and remember what that dog carrier was that we bought. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. The company that we bought it from was called Me and My Pets, and it was the navy dog print carrier, and they were so affordable. Nemo, please stop. They were ridiculously affordable for their pet carriers and really good quality, so definitely go and check that out. That was Me and My Pets. I just got my 8-week-old wire hair, but he likes to pull and bite and chew everything like the couch. Yeah, well, they do when they're puppies. Go and check out my biting video. So it's somewhere on my YouTube because that gives you loads of tips. So things like, basically, if they are biting and chewing and things, it's usually because they are bored, they're hungry, they need a wee. So they, as a baby would cry, a puppy might bite. So try and work out what they haven't done in the last hour or so. Have they been to the toilet? No. Have they eaten their breakfast, or did they leave it that day? Maybe they've got hungry a bit later. Try and think of those things and see what you can do. But one thing that I think a lot of people take for granted is how much interaction a puppy actually needs. So they bring the puppy home and they play with it for 20 minutes, and then they think that's, well, the puppy goes to sleep, it wakes up, they play 20 minutes, puppy goes to sleep, it wakes up. And then as the puppy gets older, they start walking it. And then when they walk the puppy, they think, well, I've done an hour's walk, that's it. Or I've done 30 minutes walk, that's it. Your puppy in the litter would be having interaction a lot. So to take them from the litter, guys, do you mind? To take them from the litter and not interact with them at least every hour, well, they're just going to get terribly, terribly bored. So make sure you've got some really, really good, really good toys and treats. You can turn that energy into training, turn it into play, turn it into recall, go in the garden and do some recall, turn it into something useful. So if they're biting and wrecking stuff, they're probably bored, or they need a wee, or they need whatever. Turn it into something useful because they've got that energy, you might as well use it. The final thing that they could be is they could be overtired, so they might not have rested enough. So instead, you might want to try and get them to rest. So give them a treat or a toy in their bed and let them calm down and rest. But usually it's not that they need to rest. Usually it's that they've rested for 2 hours and then you didn't play with them. So go and check out my video on puppy biting. I can't remember what I called it, but it's in my channel somewhere. Me and My Pets Lucy. Yeah, that is the one. They do you know what? I think I made a mistake though, because I'm pretty sure they did like a small, medium and large. And I bought the medium because Nemo's like an adult dog now. And it's huge. So maybe get the small. I've got another question. Would I ever get another dog? I don't at the moment. I don't want to get another one. I think one thing I have realized is when I was growing up and we had our dogs like have to be put to sleep, my parents did so well at managing it. And I think it gave me a false sense of security of like, you'll know when it's time for them to go. And so it will be easier and da-da-da. And then after Dee Dee obviously passing away last week, so if you missed me talking about that earlier, I'm not going to go back into it because I'm an emotional wreck, but I will post this afterwards so you can watch the beginning. But after having to go through all of that, I just realized, like, as lovely as having loads and loads of dogs is, at one point I'm going to have to make that decision for all of them, and I can't even think about that right now. So right now, no, we're going to keep the dogs that we've got and stop. But if a rescue one needed me, I'm pretty terrible at saying no. Yes, please do message me on Instagram. Thank you. Is Nemo my favorite? No. They are all my favorite. Do you know what? I know people say this, but they all have such different personalities. They're very, very different dogs. Like, they have their similar traits. Like the Dachshunds definitely have their traits, and then the miniature pinchers have their traits. But they are, they're totally different personalities. So I love them all for their individual traits. What do I think about cats? I love cats. I love all animals. I'm a vegetarian. I don't know. I would love to be vegan, but I love cheese. No, I love all animals. I'll happily cuddle a cat. I find it a bit odd that they show you affection by literally like digging their nails into you, but sometimes I show affection by being grumpy. So I get it. But yeah, no, I love all animals. But I don't have a cat. We lived with 2 cats, but I don't have a cat. Has anyone got any last questions before I jump off? If you've just joined us, I'm going to post this video afterwards and keep it up for a little bit so you can watch the beginning where I talked about why I'm now Lenny and 5 Dachshunds and not 6 Dachshunds, but I'm not going to talk about it again because I'm emotional. And the company that we literally have just launched, which is Nemo and Crew, which actually I'm going to type Nemo and Crew into the chat now for you. There you go. And we also did these jumpers that say my best friend is a Dachshund, which is so true. Let's have a look to see if we've got any final questions before I go. So I have an 8-month-old Daxie, but haven't been able to leave her at home alone. She cries. Do you have any suggestions? Yes. So I've done a video on something called separation anxiety, which is basically what you're talking about. If you go and watch that, it gives you some really good tips for building it up so that you can get to the point where you can leave them on their own. So please do go and watch that video. It's separation anxiety. It's a couple videos back, I think maybe like 4 or 5 videos back. So I definitely recommend watching that, because again, I can yammer on for hours and that has all of the answers in there in a structured way. So go and watch that. Rebecca says, what made me want to have a Dachshund? First Dachshund was accidental, and then once I had her, I loved them, absolutely adored them. So that's kind of the answer to that. So I'm always involved with breeders, rescues, everything like that. They always got my information, and my mum always said not to get a Dachshund because they have a lot of health issues. But I ended up with one, and then I'm addicted to them now. So I don't really have an exact answer to that. I've always loved them. Have you ever travelled? I haven't been on an airplane actually with my dogs. I literally have no experience in that. That's the one question I couldn't even give you the slightest tip to, because I have no idea. So I won't even try. What age should I introduce to big dogs? If you're introducing it to a family friend in a controlled way from this day one. When you're introducing it in fields, then nice and slow. So I would wait until they've got a bit more confidence out and about first before you go jumping into busy places with big dogs. But if you're introducing to like a family dog or a friend's dog and it's in a controlled manner, so they can both be on lead, or you can go to one of their houses and have control over the dogs, then definitely from the second you get them. Will you just quickly go through your pups and their age? Of course. I'm not going to pick them up though because they're sleeping, other than these 2, which are play fighting. So I have 7 dogs, and I'm going to try and do them in order, but I might get that wrong. So I have a miniature pinscher called Prada, and she's 10. I have a miniature pinscher called Ruben, and he's 7. I have a Dachshund who is a long-haired black and tan called Elsa, and she's 6. I have a miniature Dachshund. Who's next? Long-haired, and she's 5. Evie, she's a brindle, red brindle. I've got her son, who is Fenton. He's a long-haired red brindle, and he is 2. I've got his sister, Eva. She's a smooth red brindle, and she is 2, because they're brother and sister. And then finally, I have Nemo, and he is nearly 11 months. Can you believe it, guys? If you've been here from the beginning or on our Instagram from the beginning, can you believe that Nemo is 11 months? How mad is that? And he's a red brindle long. That's all of my dogs. Please do more lives. I will do more lives. How is the best way to train as I've got many that so it depends what you're training. If you're talking about just training in general, then find good treats, mix them up though. Never use the same treat for too long. Keep mixing it up. Toys, if they love toys. If they don't love toys, then that's not the thing for them. Always start with the basic commands: sit, stay, wait, lie down, all the basic commands, because those are the foundation commands to teaching stuff that's a bit more advanced. So yeah, it kind of depends what you're wanting to train. But yeah, try and find what works for them. Some dogs, you know what, they're not food oriented at all, but they love a squeaky toy. So find what works. If you were to go anywhere on holiday, would you take your Daxies? We don't tend to leave the country because John's scared of flying. So we don't tend to leave the country. Let me just check that John's not telling me he's about to walk through the door because it's going to be carnage. Yeah, we don't tend to go on holiday. If I go away, I go to see my brother because he lives in Gibraltar. And I don't take the Daxies with me. He's got his own dogs and I walk them, and John stays here and watches our dogs. We go on holiday in the UK all the time, and we take all the dogs with us every time. We go to cottages, lodges, anywhere that's got an enclosed garden. We do it all the time. I've got a couple of videos, but I think, or maybe just one video of us going on holiday with the dogs. But yeah, we do. We take them every time. John doesn't like to leave them behind. I wouldn't mind a couple of days away without them here and there, but John don't like leaving them behind. So they always come. Any advice for someone with a 15-week-old miniature Dachshund? Hi, Damien, if you've just joined. Hello. I am going to shoot off in a minute, so I'm so sorry if people are literally joining now, but I will do a live again. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you're not on Instagram, I always say when I'm going live on Instagram. So I've posted in this chat somewhere our Instagram, but I'll post it again. because you've all filled up the chat. So yeah, 15-week-old miniature dachshund. I've got loads of advice for a 15-week-old miniature dachshund. Go through my channel starting from the beginning, because I've got videos about health, I've got videos about toilet training, I've got videos about puppy biting, I've got everything. So go right back to the beginning, go for every video. You might get bored of me, but go for every video. When are you getting married? We are getting married on November the, oh my God, I nearly forgot. We're getting married on November the 3rd next year. I've already bought my dress. I haven't got my ring on right now though, because I don't like having it on in the bed because I'm scared it's going to get caught. But thanks for asking. What type of dachshund would you recommend? I like them all. I do love them all, but I would say, God, this is going to sound dachshundist, isn't it? Oh no. I would say that the long hairs are slightly easier to train and slightly more laid back. Some people are going to tell me that's absolutely a lie because they've got a really naughty long hair. But me in specific, I find them a little bit easier to train, a little bit more laid back. So I'm pro long hair. You probably tell by the amount of long hairs I have. I think it's because they actually bred in a spaniel to get the long hair, obviously generations and generations ago. And I think that they get that little bit of obedience from that. So sorry guys who have a smooth, I have a smooth too, but she is the naughtiest and the most difficult to train. Oh, you have watched them all, Damien. Okay. Well, that's all my tips. No, I've got so many tips. I could literally shoot a video every day, but they take me, because I'm slow, about 7 hours, maybe more. So I'll keep doing videos. But if you've got any specific issues, by the way, that you're ever having issues with, I'm honestly always happy to reply on Instagram to messages. I've talked to plenty of you, I'm sure, over Instagram chat. So yeah, just follow us on Instagram and pop me a message if you've got any concerns or anything you want to know about. I'm always about. What is the best and worst? Sorry guys, this play fighting's getting so extreme. They're having way too much fun. What is the best and worst things about owning a dachshund? I think 2 worst things. One is they are stubborn. They are a stubborn breed. I don't care what anyone says, they're a stubborn breed. Second one is their back issues are very expensive if they get a back issue. So it's not great that they are so prone to them. You know, you're looking at £6,000, £7,000 if they get a back issue. So that's definitely 2 pretty big downfalls in them. The best things is they are massively loyal. So they generally, you know who they like, and usually it's just you. So I love that. I love the loyalty of them. I think that if you are the type that does well with bonding with people, so I'm very much like 3 best friends, not a crew of people around me all the time. Do you know what I mean? So if you're like that, then you'll love the Dachshund, because they are very much like a loyal individual dog. I think that's my best. You said what color are they? I'm guessing you're talking about the dogs. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 red brindles, which are quite an interesting color, and then I've got 3 black and tans. Not on Insta, but have you on YouTube and TikTok? Oh, cool, brilliant. Well, I post on here as well, so. I don't know if you can message on TikTok, but if you can, Rebecca, then comment on one of my videos so that I know who to follow back, because I don't follow everyone back. Comment on one of my videos, I'll follow you back, and then I think we can message each other. So if you've got any questions, or if I'm sending you the link to stuff, do that and I'll follow you. What's my Instagram channel? It's in this chat somewhere, but I'm going to post it again now. I think I've spelled that right. So that's that. What is my job? So I own a marketing company. That's why I had all the videoing stuff available. Eva, can you come up here, please? Thank you. That's why I had all of the camera and everything. Obviously, this is just on my laptop, but my videos, you'll notice, are quite sharp and stuff. So I work in marketing, but it's been quiet because people don't want to spend money on marketing right now. So I have just launched, obviously, this company, which I've been talking about, the Nemo and Crew company, and I'm hoping that will become my job. So then I can sit around with Nemo all day, but there's wishful thinking, eh? Okay, brilliant. I will profile as my sister's. Okay, brilliant. Yeah. I'll make sure to follow you back if I'm not already. Male or female, which is easiest to manage, or does it matter? Okay, so I've already spoken about this, Jason, but I'm just going to quickly answer it again before John gets home, because I've got to go. Sorry, guys. But yeah, male or female, I prefer females. Some people don't because they don't like the seasons, but I don't really care about that. I just put blankets down. I've got one in season right now. I prefer females. I find they're easier to train. Sorry. Easier to train, get along better with other dogs, get along better with my dogs. But I don't think it really matters. You're right, it doesn't really matter. My boys are great as well. Fenton is fantastically obedient, so I don't really know why I'm saying that, but I just prefer girls personally. How old are all the dogs? So, Sally, I have already been through this, but I'll go through it again. Sorry, 12. No, sorry. 10. 7, 6, 5, 2, 2, 10, 11 months. Hello from me and my mini Daxie. Hi, Millie. Hello. Just popped in from work. Oh, sorry, Jason. Yeah, I'm just about to leave, Jason, actually. Just about to go because I'm waiting for John to come back and I don't want to be on here when he comes back because I'm starving. I think Elle Matheson asked what my job is. Already answered it for you, I think, mate. But I will. Hopefully you got that. I don't know how much this lags behind. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Leah? Because my name, although it's Lenny and 6 Dachshunds, my actual birth name is Leanna, which is spelt very similar to Leah. Is it hard to keep the males away from them when they're at seasons? Yes. Yeah, it is. No lie about it. If it gets too bad, we have to move one out. Thankfully, Eva is right at the end of her season now. So we're not in the risk zone anymore, but I will not take my eye off of them, and we pretty much keep them separate. The good thing is that we only have one male that's unneutered, and that is Nemo. And Nemo can't do stairs. So the girls can go upstairs and he can't get to them. So that's the good thing. But he does whinge like he's doing now. He does whinge. About 20 seconds. So that's not that bad, is it? That's not too bad for a lag. I hope I have answered all of your questions. Don't worry about joining late because I will do... Hi. Oh, come here then. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to pick him up. Come on. Oh. Nemo also can't get on the bed himself. I hope I've answered as many of your questions as possible. I've just seen one about separation anxiety. I've actually got a video about separation anxiety, so please do go and watch it. On my channel, if you go to all videos, scroll through them because I have answered a lot of stuff on my videos. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined. I will be saving this live so that you can watch back the beginning if you've just joined, because I talked about a lot in the beginning about why I'm now Lenny and 5 Dachshunds, and also about my clothing company, which I've just released. So thank you again for joining and being so lovely in all the comments and so friendly, because it's amazing. And I see so many people do these lives and they have so much nonsense in the comments, and I always have the nicest people in my comments. So thank you so much for always coming along and being so lovely. And just finally, your Dachshund's biting you. It depends how old they are and why they're biting you for. If you haven't got me on Instagram and you've got an Instagram, pretty please go and send me a message, because then I can talk to you a bit more about the age of your Dachshund and why they're biting, and we can talk more about that. I can see that there's still questions coming through, but I can't answer them. I've seriously got to go. I'm so hungry. But yeah, so in the comments here, I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to just quickly. I'm just going to put, this is my Instagram. This is our new company. There you go. I've got to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining again. And I will be on live again soon. And I'm going to do a competition when I hit 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed or whatever, share this channel, get people to subscribe, and we will get to 2,000. And then I will give away some more stuff. But yeah, thank you again. So sorry that I've got to go. I hate leaving questions unanswered, but I've seriously got to go. Thank you again. If you've got further questions that I have not answered, please message me. I will answer you there. Cheers again. Bye.